Hey everybody, welcome to a weekly gym. This could be a Modus Minute, but I think it's going to take more than a minute. So, one of the things that's fascinated me about the transitions in work that I've seen since COVID and in this post-COVID time is that all teams are, in one degree or another, not co-located. And sometimes it's just that you're not co-located because the tools that you're using are on the cloud, right? So you see a lot of times where people are like in the same room and they're all sitting on their laptops doing something in the same Miro board or in Jira or what have you. And so when we get into situations like now, we have a team of people that need to do something, and you have your planned work, but quite often your work is unplanned. It's just a fact of life that there are surprises almost every day for knowledge workers. Our surprise at Modus this week is that the platform that we run Modus Institute on had a huge feature drop. They always have huge feature drops, and they have feature drops in them that it takes a while, like a long while, to read over all of the features and the improvements that they've done. They're a wonderful company. But beyond that, you have to figure out which ones you need to implement right now. And as the leader, if you will, of this group, I could make determinations on my own about this, but it helps to be able to do this with the group as a whole. So we could have a meeting and we could have gone through all 30 of their very detailed improvements, or we could set up something like this. So what I find is that almost all standard work is a game. Almost all problem solving is a game, and the results of that game can be as open or as limited as you would like them to be. So what I very quickly did was I took the 30 things in that list, I dumped them into an AI. I had that AI come up with a short, descriptions for each of those 30 things. And then I made little post-it notes in them in Miro, and now all of a sudden we have a game space. And in that game space, now people can say, we need to implement this right away, we need to implement this later. I'm just glad to see that this even exists. So the first thing that I did for the group was I set up rules. So I said, please vote on the yellow stickies with these dots, and then write any notes and disagree with other people if you can. And then there's a link here to the original documentation, and then a thing for the people who have participated. Now, I just set this up. I'm super happy with it, so I'm talking about it now before there's a lot of results in it. But I also just have a little bit of time right now to make this video, so I'm making this video. So what I did was I got in and I did that. And then while I was going through it, because I had the link, I was like, which ones of these don't fully explain to people what it might be? So let's go down here for custom fields. So now there's a list here of the custom fields and more detail here from their actual email. And then, a note from me. So all of these things currently have a note from me or a call out to the subject matter expert that would be doing that particular thing. So Tony's very interested in gamification. Thushanthan's very interested in roles and permissions. It's handy to have someone around who cares about those things. And Mark is handling our Zapier integrations. So we've got some call outs to the SMEs. And then they will come in, and over the next few days, they will vote on these different things. And then on Monday, when we get into our regular Monday working session, so Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at Modus, all of us get together for an hour and a half, and we just work together on stuff, even though we're spread around the world. And so on Monday, we have a working session coming up. It is currently Thursday. So on Thursday and Friday, they'll get to vote. And then on Monday, we'll know that we only need to talk about the things that have a lot of votes. So in this case, you'll see that I voted on the things that I was happy to see and the things that I think need to be implemented right away. Tony and Mark and Dave and Thushanthan and everybody else will do these things. And then we will end up with a bunch of votes, and then we will talk about the things where there is the greatest cluster of interest. In that way, we have been able to asynchronously collaborate because we have a visual system that provides clear direction to get from a bunch of things to decide to the important things to actually talk about.